Hello and welcome back to Downloadable Content. Today we have something super exciting to talk about. It's Legendary Tales, and joining me live is the lead developer and creator of Legendary Tales themselves. It's BJ. BJ, go say hi to everyone.
Hello everyone, I'm BJ from Overmove Games, and we just currently released Legendary Tales. Hello.
Yeah, so Legendary Tales, if you guys don't know, I would like to say, BJ, you can define it personally, but I would like to say it's a mixture of a physics-based game, as if Diablo met a Soulsborne game that's also cooperative. How would you define it?
Oh yeah, Legendary Tales is let's say 60% of Diablo series inspired and 35% of Soul, like a Soully style of game, and then 4% of kind of Skyrim and 1% of Mega Man. Just 1% Mega Man because I like it.
I love the Mega Man reference. If you guys don't
Yeah.
know, Legendary Tales is currently out on the PlayStation VR2 as well as the PC VR2 with the MetaQuest currently unavailable with an upside down question mark. We're not so sure about that one just yet. But from what I can say personally, playing this game from its early access to release is a huge difference. It almost feels like the older Legendary Tales was like Legendary Tales 1, and now this game is Legendary Tales 2. Like, I was so surprised to see, after you come out of the tutorial, to see that original hub that the player was usually in to be completely destroyed, and there was just like dozens of skeletons coming out, and there was that goblin talking to me, and then to
Yeah.
go into the full hub, like the totally different one, and to see that almost open connected world as if it was Diablo. It almost felt like I was in New Tristram again, or if I was in Demon Souls' Nexus, and I thought that was really cool. So that was an awesome touch. It was a huge surprise to me.
Yeah. So the tutorial, the original town in early access, it's a burnt down in tutorial, and our early access fans are really surprised about that. Really fun fact of that, it's a main part of story or scenario that the original town is burnt. That town is burnt. Because spoiler alert. It's because our during our early access development, our gamers, they brought skeletons and goblins to the town. Actually, it was a bugged. From the through the portal, they just grab the monster and throw onto the town. And I really liked at the moment that the video they're sharing. So at the moment, I decide, okay, when we make big update, I'm gonna make it as a story of our game. So actually, that town is burnt. It's because not because of me or not because of not my team. It's because of you gamers
That's
made.
awesome. I did not know that. It is fantastic. Yeah, because playing the early access and playing 1.0, I was like, wow, I can't believe that they completely scrapped, in a way, scrapped the first town. And to hear that's the reason is absolutely fantastic. I'm sure
It's
people
the
are
actual
going to love
reason,
that.
yeah.
That's so cool. So, you personally, jumping in, what is your go-to build, your weapons? Like, what do you play as?
I'm usually if I play some RPG game, I like assassin style of like Dilla.
Mhm.
But in VR, it's funnily I like Sword and Shield. You know, just I want it to be just normal fighter because it's a VR.
Yeah.
And then during the not during after we developed the 1.0 releases development, I really enjoying that strength build with the sword and like a sword, and then maybe sometimes shield, sometimes something else. But I need a sword and strength build, and then I put all my secondary point into the luck because I like critical sound. I like critical feeling in our game that bling, and I feel like I did it. So I'm enjoying that.
So I think you just dropped a huge, not a huge spoiler, but a huge access, an exclusive right here. So in the game, if you look at your skills for luck, it just says good luck and that's it. It doesn't explain it. So what you're saying is if I put more points in luck, I will do more critical damage.
Yeah. I spoiled it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
But now we know. Now we know. I thought for me,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought good luck was like it increased the rate of legendary drops. So I was like, I want good luck. I want more legendaries.
Yeah, that also works. It connected to kind of drops thing. I'm not gonna specifically say something, but yes, it's related to that. And plus, it's a spoiler, lady. Crit chance.
Okay, good, good. Now we know. So now I'll be able to beat that damn gladiator skeleton that you put in the first area. That is such an evil move to have done. That skeleton is so difficult. How do people beat that skeleton?
Oh, Gladiator, that one. I mean, like if we all know how Souls style game works.
Hmm.
Just kind of, let's say, refund guard if you cannot defeat this, and if you don't find any fun here, I better to refund our game. But also we gave some other way to you can come later if you like after you level up more, so you can defeat it if you enjoy our game during the fight.
So I should get good is what you're saying. I should level up, come back, then fight him.
Yes, it's not just the character level up. Actually, the Legendary Tales game design is not just focused on character level up. I actually specifically game design being really careful about how player gamer itself level up their gaming skill, how to parry, how to defend, how to dodge, everything.
Yeah.
So if your gaming skill is level up, then yeah, you can easily just hang out with him, like be a really good friend.
So
Just
what you're
get
telling
knocked out.
everyone, it's a skill issue. Is to get good if you can't beat him currently. Is that
Yeah,
is that?
that's what I want.
I mean,
It is.
I love how difficult it was because going up until that point and getting the quest from the NPC and fighting a bunch of skeletons in the beginning, then you're like, yeah, these skeletons and zombies are nothing, and then you get to that
Yeah.
one skeleton, you see him, you're like, oh, I could take this guy. And I'm used to like those skeleton boss mobs from Legendary Tales before 1.0. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I know their move sets, I'm ready to go. He destroyed me on my first go through, completely wrecked me, man. I tried everything. I had the sword and shield out, and this man's throwing axes at me. He's casting spells. He's pummeling my guard. I'm like, okay, I'm dead.
Exactly, that's how it designed. Like we wanted to like how say game difficulty. We wanted to vamp up suddenly and then give the feeling that the idea of what kind of game it's going to be later, so you be prepared
Hmm.
now. That's what I wanted to tell people with get that game design.
Yeah, well, and speaking of which, so when we talk about later in the game and whatnot, I think what I want to point out, I don't want to hide the fact because I just want to point this out. Obviously, we know the game is currently what it's 54 or 55 US dollars if they
Hmm.
didn't buy it before. So, speaking about the game overall, and
Hmm.
if someone was just playing and they weren't grinding and leveling themselves up and playing as you intended, how long would it take the player to beat the main story?
Oh, so playtime is the question, right?
Yeah, overall. So if I was just like, hey, I'm not going to grind my character out, I'm just going to go from
Mhm.
start to finish, how long will it take me to beat the game?
So internally, before the game releases, internally we expected, if you are a VR gamer already, then we expected 15 hour overall, like a 15 hour to 20 if you're slow phase.
Hmm.
And then it turned out like for example, PSVR 2 we released, and our um statistics tells that more than 40 hours.
Wow, of just the regular gameplay. It's just
Yes, they like we have released like 4 5 6 days already, and still they haven't beat boss fight. No.
Wow. And the big thing also about these type of games is, yes, you can attempt to get to the end in one shot or through a couple of play sessions, but we all know this game is all about grinding, getting loot, and leveling up your character. Because even for me, I know I could play Diablo, 2, 3, and 4, and I can beat those main stories, and probably especially Diablo 3. I could beat Diablo 3 in one sitting at that point. But we know it's so much more than that. So I don't want you to spoil anything about the end game boss or anything like that and how do they get there. But can you talk a little bit about, let's say I beat the game and I've defeated that boss. What does the end game content look for a player?
So when you once you defeat the boss, if you go to the gladiator again, the gladiator skeleton you met the first time, after your boss final boss fight, you go to him and you feel like he's nothing now, he's just dull. And then that point I realized that oh, we need another part, more New Game Plus we need.
Mm-hmm.
So we added challenge mode, which is you only can play with the character that you defeated final boss. You can play challenge mode. It everything you start from the start again. You keep the item and level and everything, but you just only storyline. You start again, but everything is at 50 plus level. I say 50 plus because we officially we don't have more than 50 level.
Mm-hmm.
So all the monsters are 50 plus, and then now you faced enemy that use left-handed because normal mode, not challenge mode, normal mode, all the monsters they are right-handed. And now in the challenge mode, they are mixed, left-handed, right-handed, both the enemies comes out. It gives you totally different feeling. Really like oh, like you always parried it this way, and then now you have to do another way during the fight. And then on top of that, enemies, their animations, their like enemies' movement, they are faster. So you have to parry them really fast,
Wow.
or you have to dodge them really fast. And then on some boss fight, we added some more patterns there, of course, because it's challenge mode. So all of things are in packaged in the form of New Game Plus, which is called the challenge mode.
I mean, that's awesome to hear because I think a lot of people, of course, they'll see a high price tag and not know. And a lot of VR games now they come out and they might be 12 hours, they might be 6 hours. You don't know what you're getting. So I love that not only is it a big campaign, there's a boss, there's a way of me collecting loot and leveling up, but to hear that there's an additional end game that you even thought you put a lot of thought to and say, well, now they're going to do left-handed attacks and they'll mix up attacks and have new attack patterns. That's super exciting because it makes me feel that like the normal campaign is still like an easy tutorial mode and that the real game doesn't unlock until I beat that boss for the first time. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, if you after you play challenge mode, if you come to normal mode, you feel like why everything is so slow, you know?
That's
That's
awesome.
how you feel. I guarantee you, everyone, I will guarantee you.
And can a character that's in challenge mode, what happens if they invite one of their friends that hasn't beaten the campaign yet?
So it's not possible if it's the character itself is not beaten final boss.
Mhm.
You cannot join, so you have to beat first. Maybe
Okay,
your friend can help, but you can't
gotcha.
play together.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. So now I want to
Ah,
talk about the loot
mhm,
in the game.
yeah.
How many how many I know you can craft stuff. We haven't even gotten to there yet. But how many like legendary items are there and how many regular items are there and how many like super rare unique items are there?
Ooh, tough question. Because I'm to be honest, I don't remember how many legendary items, but I think it's 30 plus, I can say. And unique and rare and just other than legendary items, they are all random number generated. So it's not correct in grammar wise, but almost infinitive, I would say.
I see. So some of like the basic ones you pick up, some of the numbers and abilities and attributes are randomly generated, kind of like how
Yes.
Borderlands 1 or Borderlands 2 was. It's the same gun, but you can get different and better versions of that through different pickups.
Yeah. Yeah, like a Diablo, just basically it's Diablo 2.
Okay. Now I have a question for you, and this is for me personally. So when I was doing one of the tutorial quests, I had
Mm-hmm.
to crush like a magic dust on a bowstring. You remember that
Mm-hmm.
quest? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I grabbed it and I crushed it on something else, and I lost that crystal, and now I can't beat that quest. How do I get another one?
The crystal?
Yeah, like
That crystal you crushed.
uh
That's a magic called the magic powder, and you can get them by grinding the item. The magic or rare or unique item. You have to grind them.
okay, and that's how
Just
I get them back.
yeah.
Gotcha. Because I was like, I'm
Yes.
ready to do this, and you know what I did? Because your game tells me to crush it on a bowstring. I'm a very literal player, so I took an already existing bow and tried to crush it on that string. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh no! And then I looked at my inventory and I had no more magic powder, and the NPC just standing at me like, you're doomed. You lose.
Yeah, like I like agree with you. Like even me, I feel like we could have done better way to explain to gamers about the older quest dialogue and explanations. I'm really sorry, but you know,
It's
it's
all
what it
good,
is
man.
now.
It's all good. I think it's funny. What I do like is that you've built quests into this game, you and your team. Now, granted, we know it's not voice acted or anything like that, but I do appreciate that there's random quests that you find, and it's not just go there and kill 10 goblins. Some of it's like, hey, I'm a ghost. I lost a couple of my pieces. Go get them and bring them back to me. I think that's awesome too. It's great to just have more than I'm this character, I'm in this world, let me go punch skeletons until I level up. I like that there's also quests that give me XP that also levels up. So I think that's a really great touch.
Yeah, like that part, like we did our best form. Like we wanted to make more of them, that those kind of things, because it gives you the feeling you are adventuring more. But just I think compared to this map size and everything and world size, I think just we have good amount of them.
So let's talk about something very interesting, which is, I guess we would consider almost cut content or change content. So we have Legendary Tales before 1.0 is we had a hub and we would go into these dungeon floors from like 1A all the way down to not even remember. And from what I remember going in there, you can almost infinitely play these different levels. Go, okay, I'm going to select, 1F or 2F right now, and it's going to be harder. They're going to have more armor and stuff. So is that gone? Like me going into those random esque dungeons, is that still in the game somewhere, or is that completely changed?
It's we get that question really a lot actually, and it's a really funny because uh, if we talk about early access version, the 1 to 11 floor, like final boss, it never from the launch day of early access, it never been randomized dungeon. It never been, not at all. It always a fixed dungeon. But what we did is we put random starting point of in dungeon, so people feel it's lost and it's a randomized dungeon. No, it's not. Just that you are lost in dungeon like you it could happen in real life. Just
Mm.
to, we just throw you in you know basement, and then you find a map random point, and then you lost, and then you feel like, oh, it's a randomized building or whatever. So no, it's never been that way. So nothing, no feature are gone. It's as it is. Just random point is gone. Maybe random starting point is gone.
And is that the dungeons that I played in the early access build? Are those somewhere in the game also, or not at all? It's just it's now the big world is what I'm playing in.
Yeah, like it's I can say I can confirm it's gone, and like internally, as our team, we just call it like Legendary Tales Classic.
Okay. Well, I mean that's good to know, right? Because I think when the players like walking about the overworld and they're going to these different zones, that's why to me I felt like, wow, this feels like a brand new, not totally different game because the bones and the foundation is there, but I'm like, wow, this feels like a totally different game now because I was expecting to walk through a door and I'm in dungeon 1A, I beat that one and I go back to the hub. Like that's what I was expecting, just a different version of that. So when I was playing, it'd be like, wow, it got me thinking. I'm like, is that old dungeon gone? But it's just kind of good to know that it was where it was and it became this game, and I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, like that's actually privilege of early access supporters because none of new gamers ever had the experience with that.
hmm it almost makes me wonder, right? If possible, somewhere down the line, um, if permitted, if people can almost unlock a dungeon mode classic, where you're like, you want to know what? Dungeon mode classic. You know how you mentioned earlier that they get a new game plus and that's a super challenge mode? What if it was like challenge mode plus when they beat challenge mode and it's that dungeon 1 through 11 again, now with your new game and it had all that stuff. I think that would be cool. Just a cool little Easter egg in there in the future.
Maybe like in the future, maybe we could have done like old dungeon, bring it back, and then but in the old dungeon, you meet all new monsters
Yeah,
with new patterns.
that'd be awesome. Now
Yeah.
we have some questions from the community that I've kind of sourced through YouTube videos
Mm-hmm.
and my Discord. So I think it'd be a great time to talk about a few of them. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Go ahead. Like I'm excited.
So we already kind of answered one just by talking. It was like, what was the original inspiration of the game? And you already mentioned Diablo and Mega Man and Skyrim and whatnot. So we did answer that one, but this is a great one. Is the final product close to or far from your initial vision of the game?
Oh, interesting. So during the after we launch early access, before the launch at early access, I had a real because it's early access. I had a really big dream that what kind of game I want to do, what kind of game I want to make. So I from the start I wanted to make kind of open world lead feeling the kind of VR RPG action RPG game. So we couldn't afford all the things because obviously we are indie. So I made 10 floor of dungeons, and after launch that we made some more core features such as more legendary weapon and skill tree systems. So when we made a skill tree system and attributes and all the legendary was completed, I wanted to move on to the open world. That's the 2022. And early 2022, I looked up our sales, and then we actually um shrinked the project size itself because I realized that we cannot afford that what I wanted to really make. So I had to cut out everything that what kind of thing I wanted to make, and then but still I couldn't give up about the idea of open world thing. So that's what you are seeing the 1.0 releases that kind of outside is a big area at, but you can play with your friends. So I wanted to do that because research and development, and if we can make expand, then yeah, we can make more bigger world and those things. Other than that, we also wanted to make more like we are not class uh type of thing, but we use as traits in skill tree. We wanted to make healer traits or necromancer traits or necromancer summoner or like a tamer, those kind of things. We had a bunch of ideas, just we had to reduce. But the form of Legendary Tales right now is minimal. I wanted to bring it to gamers that gives the most immersive feeling. Yeah, but it's not that completely the size of game I wanted to do.
So it's just a smaller version, but for the most part, you feel that you guys achieved the vision that you set forth.
Yes, correct.
Good. So following up on that one, another good question is, um, they know previously that you guys wanted to get this one on Unreal Engine 5, but it was back to Unreal Engine 4. So they want to know what happened there.
So let me think. Later 2022, we saw Unreal Engine 5 is released 5.2, I think it was, and we tested and it was good in the performance wise. And then we moved to Unreal Engine 5. And then as you know, we are a physics-based game, and Unreal Engine 5 uses Chaos Engine instead of Physics X, which is most of um, VR games are using. So we looked up all the Chaos of Physics engine itself, and then we thought we can do it, and so that's because that's the most difficult part for our game. And so we said, oh, it's good to go. So we developed like a 7 month, and then we figured there was some specific situation, tons of frame drops, and then performance problem, and then we dig it up into more, and then figured out the Chaos engine itself is recommended on like next gen console, so which is PlayStation 5. So same spec as PC as well. It should be I don't know, i5 something. Um, Performance wise, they guarantee 60 frames, which is not okay for PC VR
Hmm.
or any VR. So we just tweaked some code to work on, and then we shipped to our closed beta testers, and we just wished they don't recognize our tweaks, and then somehow they recognize. So that moment, no, it can't be shipped because performance problem, and there was also network problem, and those kind of things come up. And network problem, maybe we could have done some more if we had enough more time. We put more time, but performance was like it was not acceptable for us because like our games, like all access supporters, they don't have all good PC. So I was like, no, it means we have to abandon all of them. They pay the money. We can't do that. So we decided to just downgrade to Unreal Engine 4. And because of we downgrade Unreal Engine 4, we got like PC wise, CPU wise, we got like 50% of CPU boost.
Oh wow.
That's that's quite a lot. We didn't change that much of code. Just we just tweaked like made it in work on the Engine 4, and yeah, that's why many people can enjoy Legendary Tales now.
That's good because I mean, not only is this a single player game, it's a multiplayer game, so you don't want core issues outside of, internet and latency affecting it. So if you had physics jank and, the
Yes.
CPU is getting out of control and then you're worried about a peer to peer connection, it probably would have been a bad experience. So it's probably the better call to go back to you for.
So like for example on Steam page we say system requirements. But when I put the system requirements, it's not like you need it for single play. You need it for multiplayer. If you run Legendary Tales with that requirements, then like possibly just 60 or 70% of resources we only use for single play only, because other resources we save up for multiplayer. So like yeah, performance is really important for our game because our game is not single play.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that one. It's good to know because of course you can play this game solo, but like you just said, it's it's also a multiplayer game, and you want to make sure that people know that going into it.
Yes, totally. Like I don't want people be sad that they bought the game and they cannot run the game anymore. That makes me really sad.
So now, of course, this is a looming question that has to be asked, but they put it in the nicest way possible. They're like, are you considering a Quest release, or is it too much time and money to convert?
Yeah, like we are really passionate indie game developers. Of course, put Legendary Tales on Quest Store is one of our dream. Like all of VR developers' dream it is. So of course, if you question is do we want 100% like 1,000 billion%? I want just we to do that we need Meta's approval. Without that, we cannot move on. Like even we considered put on MLab, but still MLab we need approval. Like after MLab, I mean, not putting on MLab. After MLab, we still approval from Meta that we can jump on their store. And still, I hope Meta accept us so we can make Legendary Tales for Castor because a lot of our gamers they ask us to make it and it's not like I really want really I'm same with you guys like every gamers. So if Meta is listening this, please help us. We want Meta.
So there you
Yeah.
go. There you go. Hopefully someday we can get Legendary Tales on the Meta Store, and maybe people watching, if we can get this video to let's say 1,000 likes, and maybe we can push this on, and maybe Meta sees this, that would be awesome. But that's a good answer. So hopefully we can get some form of Legendary Tales on the Quest Store in the future. Now,
Oh, you're right. Can I add some more?
yeah, sure.
So like how much we want is Legendary Tales project itself is started with with Quest 1. We made Legendary Tales on Quest 1 first. Our old physics worked with 72 frames without any frame drops. We made, you know, really shiny thing there. So this project should go back to where it was, like Castor. That's what I
Goes going
want.
back to its roots. I like to hear it.
Yeah. Uh,
Now, I have a really good question for you that you're not prepared for. So are you ready now?
okay.
Okay, here we
What is
go.
it?
I say, is there a way that you and me can go into a session at some point and you can show me the world of Legendary Tales, and you and I play together and we get a developer to content creator video out of it?
Ooh, I'm not ready for that, but yes, sure. Yeah, why not? It's a really good idea.
There we go. And then I can watch you live try to beat that gladiator skeleton 1v1, and as I stand there and watch you get pummeled by him.
In that case, actually, I want my Black Knight. One of my teammate will play, and then we'll because you want entertainment, right?
Yeah, we'll
So
we'll
my
get your whole team in there, as many as we can, well, up to 4 players, right? And
yeah,
then
like
you'll show me the ropes.
yeah, like he will show you like a bunch of things, and we will just watch like as by the audience, Oh, you get it, you know.
There we go. I love it. Cool. Well, in closing, BJ, thank you so much for joining me and talking about Legendary Tales 1.0. Everyone, the game is out right now on the PlayStation VR through Steam, as well as the PlayStation 2 VR through PlayStation. So go ahead and get that now. I personally think it's worth the price. Other VR games charge you $20 or $30 and give you a 6-hour experience. This one gives you a full 40-hour campaign, new game plus, and multiplayer, which is awesome. BJ, is there anything else that you would like to say to the people?
Oh yeah, like I really I want to say to our Alexis supporters who bought our game really in early stage. I really appreciate them, and I can confirm that we couldn't come this far without your support. I really appreciate. I want you guys enjoy our game, and I want to say this game is made by us. Us means we and you supporters. So just this achievement is like we made together. Also, if anyone who didn't buy Legendary Tales and considering to buy it, uh, it would be really appreciated. Even on sale buy is totally fine because money is relevant, like relative to people. So if it's expensive, you feel like just wait a sale, and if you can support us later, then it will be really appreciated because we need support.
That's awesome. And also to my friends that play on PC VR, I should say, just know that through Steam, even if you want to try the game and let's say there is no demo, always know that you can refund if you want a game up to 2 hours. So if you want to just give it a try, and if it is for you, keep it. If it's not for you, remember you can refund it within 2 hours. But other than that, I just want to say thank you, BJ, so much for hanging out and talking about Legendary Tales. And everyone else, thank you for stopping by. If you're new to downloadable content, why not subscribe? It's free. Click the big button down below, and we'll see you next time. Bye!